American women's trampolinist. Her father, George Nissen, the largest manufacturer of trampoline and gymnastics equipment in this country.
My father invented the trampoline. So when he first introduced the trampoline to a bunch of kids, he was able to take it to a summer camp in Iowa, and the kids were bouncing on it, and they wouldn't get off to go swimming. And he said he knew he was onto something because in the summer there it was hot and they kept wanting to jump. So he said, this is good because it's fun.
Dian is 15 years old from Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Here it comes. There's a double full, and here comes the full, right there.
Both neatly executed.
Right. Little form break, but not major.
I believe I was put on a trampoline very shortly after I was born. I have a photo with my dad holding me, and I'm in my diapers and I'm sitting on the trampoline, so I believe it was one of the early times. There's another photo of me as I'd say toddler, maybe 3-4 years old, and I'm just have so much joy and fun. I'm holding a ball and I'm up in the air, and I just remember it being fun and exhilarating, and I wanted to continue to do it. And if anything, I was a little upset when I had to stop. My father's first inspiration that he told us was when he was about 5 or 6 years old, and the circus came to town, and he was completely fascinated by the trapeze artists and how they would swing back and forth, but then they would land on a net, and it had a spring to it. And as he grew into a teenager, he became part of an acrobatic little troupe and did some gymnastics and tumbling. And he started to think about that and how he could get better. And he remembered the springing of the trampoline, or the trapeze really, as he was going. And he went to the junkyard in their town and he got scraps, metal, and some different things. And he took a bed and dismantled it. And he took the frame and created a very rudimentary trampoline, but it wasn't a trampoline, but he tried that, and he had that idea, and it wasn't what he wanted, but that was the beginning. I decided to become very serious with my trampolining as far as competitive goes when I was around 9 or so years old. And what was really nice though was that he never pushed me. He never pushed me before that, and he never gave me pressure to be good or anything. He just always wanted to make sure that I enjoyed the competing, and as long as I did, then I stayed with it. Trampoline is definitely in my DNA, and I love being part of the trampolining community as well as the fitness trampoline community. I love it. I have such a passion for it that I think I would be depressed if I couldn't use the trampoline, but my father was my role model for that because he was bouncing on trampolines until he was 95 years old. And he also jumped on the trampoline and did his somersaults into his 80s and early 90s. But later he went to the fitness trampoline, and he was on his fitness trampoline every day when he would wake up for all of those years into his 90s, and he claimed that was his health. My father manufactured very high quality equipment and was very proud to have the Nissen name on his equipment, and the bellicon is that for fitness trampoline. In competitive trampoline, we have very springy trampolines. The small mini tramps, as far as the rebounders go, I was initially, when I saw some of those, they came out, I believe, of popularity in the 70s, and I didn't pay attention to that too much because I was part of the competition world and we had other bigger trampolines. But I noticed they were around, and when we tried them, I felt like it wasn't so good to bounce on, and maybe not even so good for your feet or your legs. What I found those to be was a very cheap quality spring and the bed or mat in the middle was not of high quality as well. And then the frame, I know that at times those would sometimes fall apart on people. And so overall, the quality was not so good. And the quality is key to get that good feeling of buoyancy. So a good change has been to go to the bungee. Although springs are okay, but they have to be such high quality and they're a little heavy. The bungee is ideal because it provides a softer bounce and it gives still good resistance for the bed mat in the middle. And what I found when I first observed the bellicon was that was of a different material that I was on, and it felt very good on my feet and very good to just lightly spring on. I am very convinced that the fitness trampoline is a very excellent device for many types of sports and athletes and activities as a supplement for them. Because of the fact that you're bouncing on that trampoline and moving on it, you're getting the agility, the balance, the spatial awareness, the coordination, and you can add props to it too. One of the more common questions I have had and have faced when I've introduced a rebounder fitness trampoline to new people is that they're afraid because maybe they've had some type of pelvic floor or bladder issues and they're a little afraid to get on there. And it's very understandable because maybe they've jumped on their child's backyard trampoline up and down and it didn't feel so good, or they've had some surgery or some previous thing that makes them feel uncomfortable. And if they can just step on and ease into it and just push down and feel good on that fitness trampoline, then they can see that it will feel good and that they can slowly build up. Because most people think when they step on a trampoline, they have to jump up and down right away. Some people want to because they just think it will be fun, and I completely understand that. But I feel they should enjoy the ride and try from the beginning and get the foundation first. So once they do that and they realize it doesn't have to be this, there's no pressure for the pelvic floor, and they can feel comfortable and slowly ease into it. And with time and slow time and patience, they will learn that it will possibly improve that pelvic floor health. Everyone should have the opportunity to be able to bounce. And if you think of that, there should be a way to allow people to try it. Not everybody will like it, and it may not be for everyone, but I believe there are so many people out there that haven't experienced it yet, and if they're introduced to it in the best way, they will see how fun it is besides being very healthful. If you find an activity that you love to do and want to do, you will keep doing it, and that is when it will be most effective.